Hi, Blind Guy Garage. So this, if we might be able to see, Cub Cadet, I don't know where the numbers are. I don't know what year, but a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This is the one in the other video where we had low compression. We can get it to run off brake clean, but I'm guaranteeing you it won't run on gas. Got the engine off. Going to get that stripped down to a point where a friend of mine can go ahead and rebuild it for me, because we got other stuff we got to do to this. Get it all cleaned up, clean up the wiring harness. Just it's over the years, I mean, and I believe that's the voltage regulator, so it's not something that I'm super common or super familiar with as far as this machine goes, but this kind of stuff, yeah. So we got things to work on here, but like everything's seized up, all the throttle controls and stuff, but the electrics worked, and that's a big plus, a big head start. And I don't believe the hydrostat leaks. But if you're not familiar with these machines, that is a pretty stout transaxle. And I believe they used it in some bigger tractors, like something similar to, but not exactly, the Cub Cadet Lowboy or the Cub Lowboy, which is a big tractor. It's got the wheels and tires are about like that tall. About 4 feet or so. But we're gonna not doing paint, and we're gonna pull the deck, and we're not going to worry about it being in perfect shape. They just want it to be a machine that they can pull stuff around the yard, which that'll do just fine. This one's strong enough you could put a plow in the back if you wanted, but that little 12-horse engine just doesn't have enough testicular fortitude to do anything at this point. But I believe some new rings would make a huge difference in that machine. So that's what's coming up. We're gonna fart around with this thing for a couple of videos maybe, and light this a little bit of me being able to clip videos together now, a little bit. At least I'm able to combine two now. It'll be able to be a little bit more tidy. I'm going to try to keep doing things the way that I've been doing things, but make some videos a little bit shorter, a little cleaner, things like that. But get this. This is an original tire. It does have a tube in it, but it's still doing the thing it's supposed to do. That's an aftermarket tire, and it's completely shredded. This thing is from the 60s. I think it's a 63 or something like that. No, 65. 6, 7, somewhere in there. And so is that. So they don't make rubber like they used to, apparently. This thing's got some pretty cool things about them. They're down in here. It's like a little gearbox for your steering. Under there, right there. I don't know how you were supposed to get to that grease fitting. I guess you had to go underneath, because once the engine's here, how are you supposed to? I don't know. But grease fittings are actually on this machine, whereas, you know, most of your new stuff, no grease fittings anywhere. It weighs a lot. It's very heavy. even with the engine out, I don't know that it's very feasible to pick the front end of this machine up. And that engine is all cast iron too, which is this guy. We're all cast iron, and not used to what or this setup, but the bottom of the engine is not flat where you can bolt it to something. It's rounded on the bottom, and your bolt hole is there to mount the engine to a frame. So your bolt holes are around the crankcase instead of it having a flat bottom like most of your modern stuff. People messing with pulling tractors may know, well, we got to rebuild a carburetor for sure. It sat so long where it was that the deck was full of leaves that it had turned to complete compost. And I went to move the deck, and I was like, well, I'll grab the pulley. And then it fell apart in my hand. Like, look. That's pulley. Pieces of the pulley fell off. There was actually water sitting right here. Well, right here. The pulley was buried under leaves, and then as I pulled the non-composted leaves off, just huge, thick, and it ain't made it through, which they don't really want to do this. This is probably 10 gauge with some seriously thick stuff here. This is 3/8. Then once all that's piled together, you're looking at 1/2 inch thick material here. So they weren't playing around with these old mowers here, but there's just not much. I suppose I could get a spindle like that's a bolt right there. I doubt that it looks much like a bolt anymore. The head of this one is potentially gone completely. Look at that. I'm sure people have seen worse, but that's pretty rough. So anyway, that's why they're not worried too much about the deck, because we could work on tons of we could work on that for a long time and just never get the deck 100% right anyway. And it might need fabrication and all kinds of stuff. So why worry about all that when what you really want is just to be able to drive the thing? So that's the Cub 123. Thank you guys. Stay blessed.